Today is September 24th, 2025, but, the story we are about to explore is honestly timeless. It begins in a place shrouded by fear. Imagine a valley, caught between two hills. On one side, an army stands frozen. The soldiers of Israel are paralyzed, not by the enemy's numbers but by the shadow of a single man. This is the Valley of Elah. It has become a theater of dread. For 40 days the sun has risen and set on this stalemate. The air is thick with tension, a palpable weight pressing down on every soul, every heart, every hope. It is a silence broken only by the wind and a single booming voice. That voice belongs to a giant. His name is Goliath. He is more than a man, he is a mountain of muscle and bronze. His armor gleams under the harsh sun, a fortress of metal that seems impenetrable. His spear is like a weaver's beam, and the very ground trembles when he walks. Each morning he strides into the valley, his presence just sucking the courage from the air. He is a symbol of overwhelming power, a physical manifestation of an impossible odd. Into this valley of despair walks something, unexpected. Not a warrior, not a king, but a boy. His name is David. He is a shepherd. Hands accustomed to a staff, a harp, not a sword. He has come to the battlefield only to bring food for his older brothers. A simple errand from his father. Young face, familiar with sun and wind, not war, no heavy armor, no hardened soldier's expression. David hears the giant's roar. He sees something different, not an unconquerable mountain of a man, an arrogant bully, a man who defies not just an army, but the very faith that binds them together. Others measure the giant's height, others measure the weight of his armor. David measures the size of his own conviction. A question forms: who is this man to defy the armies of the living God? This is what sets David apart. Not a lack of fear, a different kind of focus. His life as a shepherd has taught him lessons the soldiers have forgotten. Faith as a lived experience, the source of his strength. David goes before the king. He declares his intention to fight the giant. King Saul looks at him with disbelief. He sees only a youth, ruddy and handsome, versus a seasoned man of war. Saul tries to dissuade him, to protect him from certain death. "You are not able," the king says. "You are but a youth." The voice of logic, the voice of reason, the voice of experience, the same voice that lists all the reasons will fail. But David does not waver. He does not argue about his strength. He does not argue about his skill with a sword. Instead, he tells a story. He speaks of life as a shepherd. He recalls a lion. He recalls a bear. He rescued a single lamb. He fought them with his bare hands, trusting in a power beyond his own. The king is moved. The king offers his armor, gleaming bronze. David tries it on. It is too heavy, too cumbersome. He cannot move freely. It is not his own. David sets aside the armor. He chooses to be himself. David walks into the valley alone. The vast space that had seemed so menacing now feels like a stage. The two armies watch from the hillsides, a silent audience to this impossible drama. He carries no sword, no shield, no helmet. In his hand is a shepherd's staff, and in his bag are 5 smooth stones he has chosen from a nearby brook. His only weapon is a simple sling, a tool for protecting sheep, not for felling giants. To the world he looks foolish, unprepared, and utterly doomed. Goliath sees him coming. The giant lets out a laugh that rumbles across the valley like thunder. He is insulted. Has the army of Israel been reduced to this, sending a boy with sticks to fight him? Am I a dog that you come to me with sticks? He curses David, promising to feed his flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. But David does not flinch. He shouts back, his voice clear and steady, cutting through the giant's bluster. His words are not a boast, but a declaration of faith. He tells Goliath that he comes not with a sword, not with a spear, but in the name of the God of Israel, whom the giant has defied. This is not a battle of flesh and blood for David. It is a battle of faith versus fear, of humility versus arrogance. The giant begins his lumbering advance, a walking earthquake of bronze and fury. David does not wait. He runs toward the giant. He reaches into his bag, pulls out a single stone, and places it in his sling. This is the moment. All of history seems to pause. The outcome of the battle, the fate of a nation, rests on the flight of a single, smooth stone. The stone flies. It is a tiny projectile against a massive target, but it flies true. It sinks into the giant's forehead, the one small patch of flesh left unprotected by his helmet. The giant stops. With a ground-shaking crash, Goliath falls, face down, onto the earth. For a moment, absolute silence. The universe seems to hold its breath. That silence is shattered by a roar. Not the giant's challenge, The roar of the Israelite army, the paralysis is broken. Fear that had held them for 40 days evaporates. Seeing their champion's victory, they find courage. They charge down the hill, a torrent of renewed hope and strength, and they chase the fleeing Philistine army. One boy's courage ignites thousands. David's victory was never just his, it became a story told for generations. A testament that our biggest challenges are often not what they seem. Giants of perception, magnified by fear and doubt. The echo of that single stone reverberates in 2025. It lives in every person who dares to stand up despite the odds. It is present in the entrepreneur with a bold idea, the artist with a unique vision, the activist fighting for justice. We all have giants, challenges that seem insurmountable. The story is a timeless reminder. Within each of us lies the courage to pick up our own stone, to face our own valley, and to believe even the greatest giants can fall.